All right, welcome back. And a look at Parliament Hill right now, where it has been a week of high drama. The whole thing kicked off earlier this week on Tuesday when a leader of the Conservatives was thrown out of the House of Commons for calling Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and his policies on the decriminalization of hard drugs wacko. That happened multiple times, and Poilievre refused to withdraw the word when he was called out by the Speaker of the House, Greg Fergus. Things were a lot calmer on Wednesday, and of course we'll see what today brings. Does bring up an interesting debate, though, doesn't it, over whether Pierre Poilievre crossed the line or not. Was it behavior unbecoming of a prime minister in waiting or not? Was he simply calling out Trudeau as he saw it? Let's bring in CTV's Jeremey Charron, who's in the Capitol today with more on the fallout. It's a story that keeps on giving, doesn't it?
Absolutely, Todd. People just can't stop talking about this one. And to your point, the conversation has kind of become, did he cross the line or not? And clearly, House Speaker Greg Fergus felt as though he crossed the line, and you talked about it, but it's worth repeating and just quickly summarizing what happened. He called the Prime Minister and his policies wacko. He was asked to retract the statement. He would not retract the statement, replace the word wacko with extremist or radical, he said. And it's at that point that Speaker Greg Fergus asked him to leave the House of Commons during question period. What's happened now is that Conservatives are outraged by this, and they feel as though Pierre Poilievre was treated unfairly when comparing to how Prime Minister Justin Trudeau was treated by the Speaker when he used the term spineless when describing the Leader of the Opposition, Pierre Poilievre. The House Speaker asked him to reframe that question without personal attack, but he was not asked to retract the statement and ultimately was not asked to leave the House of Commons. And so that's what has Conservatives so upset, and that has been kind of the focus of the continued fallout here. Is the pressure for Greg Fergus to resign. Conservatives have been pushing for his resignation. So far, it has been just that, public vocalization by Conservative MPs that they no longer have faith in the Speaker. They feel as though he acted in a biased way and that he was not fair in his treatment of the two leaders. As you know, Todd, the House Speaker is someone who's supposed to be nonpartisan, unbiased. That is the role they play. And Conservatives certainly are quite frustrated. But it has not been taken further yet. It actually seems, as of right now, and we'll see, as you pointed out, what happens in the House today during question period this afternoon. But so far, it seems to have started to fizzle out in terms of Conservatives continuing to attack the Speaker. Of course, the only next step really beyond publicly calling for his resignation or for him to step down, which the Speaker and his office have said he will not do. There are parliamentary procedures that could be taken and steps that they could take, including tabling a motion of non-confidence. That is an extreme measure, and that would require a vote. There is no word that will happen yet. As I say, it's actually going the other way. It seems now that things are starting to finally quiet down here on Parliament Hill.
Yeah, we got about a minute left, Jeremy. I mean, the Trudeau Liberals and the NDP hammering Pierre Poilievre. In the last day or so, they've called him a bully, a coward, trying to say he's kind of like a mini version of Donald Trump as well. They're not doing well in the polls, though. The Conservatives are. So that's playing out, too, here in the background in terms of how they're reacting.
Absolutely. Both sides are playing politics and are using this situation to try and bolster their numbers in the polls. Todd, you talked about, the Liberals immediately went on the attack after Tuesday, putting out messaging on social media comparing Pierre Poilievre to Donald Trump. And the Conservatives, on the other hand, also went on the attack, using the situation to continue to highlight what they believe to be wacko policies and continue to dig into that term that was used in the House of Commons. So both sides have used this situation to try and help themselves and get political gain out of it.
Jeremey Charron in Ottawa following it all. We'll be tracking question period as well in about an hour from now. Jeremy, thanks for this.
Anytime, Todd.
All right.